Okay, what the
Hello, I am OP Silver, and I'm going to review the Red Eyes archetype in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. And this is an archetype that I felt like really needed to exist because it was used by one of the main characters. The deck surrounds Red Eyes Black Dragon, the classic card itself, and it was used to be held by Rex Raptor, then it was held to Joey. And then a character named Atticus, but who gives a shit about him. To get the nostalgia out of the way, we have Red Eyes Black Dragon that's level 7 with 2400 attack and 2000 defense. It's a normal monster, so I can't really say much, but you are going to center your deck around this. Next up, we have Black Dragon's Chick, which is a level 1 monster with 800 attack and 500 defense. You can send this face-up card you control to the graveyard, special summon one Red Eyes Black Dragon from your hand. Well, if you don't have Red Eyes Black Dragon in your hand, this is easily a brick. Fun fact though, its name used to be Red Eyes Black Chick in the TCG, but it was changed for some ungodly reason to Black Dragon's Chick because it wasn't meant to be in the archetype. Why? Black Metal Dragon is a level 1 with 600 attack and defense with the effect. You can target one Red Eyes monster you control, equip this monster from your hand or field to that target, it gains 600 attack. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand. It only brings generic attack boosting and serves as a monster if your opponent doesn't Ash Blossom it later on if they're not prepared for this. The Black Stone of Legend is a card with no stats with the effect. You contribute this card, special summon one level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your deck. If this card was in your graveyard, you can shuffle one level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck. And if you do, add this card to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn, and only once that turn. This is a more preferable card than Black Dragon's Chick because it has more searching, and it can get back to your hand later on for some more and more searching by recycling it. It only happens during each turn, but it works. Red Eyes Baby Dragon is level 3 with 1200 attack and 700 defense. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your deck, and if you do, equip this card from the graveyard to it. It gains 300 attack. If this card is sent to the graveyard while a monster is equipped to it, you can add one level 1 dragon monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Well, if your opponent is stupid enough to attack into it while this card is face down, it could work, but nobody is really gonna cower for a 300 attack boost. Gearfried, the Red Eyes Iron Knight, is a level 4 with 1800 attack and 1600 defense, while also being a reference to the original. Once per turn, if either player equips an equipped card of this card, you can destroy those equipped cards. Then you can destroy one spell or trap your opponent controls. Once per turn, you can send one equipped card you control that is equipped to this card to the graveyard. Then special summon one level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster in your graveyard, special summon it. For the first effect, I'm not really going to complain about the back row removal too much because you're only going to send one equipped card to the graveyard to destroy a back row. That, and you can use the equipped cards to make a search. Paladin of Dark Dragon is a level 4 ritual monster with 1900 attack and 1200 defense. You can ritual summon this card with Dark Dragon Ritual. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks a defense position monster, destroy that monster. You contribute this card, special summon one Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck. You can only use this once per turn. It's a card effect that didn't really age well, but hey, unlike Paladin of White Dragon, it lets Red Eyes attack. Red Eyes Retro Dragon is a level 4 with 1700 attack and 1600 defense. If a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster you control is destroyed by your opponent's attack or card effect and sent to your graveyard while this card is in your hand, you can special summon this card in defense position. And if you do, special summon as many of those destroyed monsters as possible in the same position they were when they were destroyed. You contribute this card. You can normal summon one Red Eyes monster during your main phase this turn in addition to your normal summon / set, and you can only gain it once per turn. It has good recovery, but it only activates when Red Eyes is destroyed. So if your opponent destroys Red Eyes first, this is the only card that's going to be brought to the field. Red Eyes Wyvern is a wind monster with 1800 attack and 1600 defense. Once per turn during your end phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Red Eyes monster in your graveyard, special summon that target, and you cannot normal summon or set during the turn you activate this effect. Why are you restricted on your normal summon? And why the end phase? There's other ways to bring back Red Eyes, and it's better too. Meteor Dragon Red Eyes Impact is a level 6 Gemini. Red Eye's Archfiend of Lightning is another level 6 Gemini. Black Meteor Dragon is level 6 with 2000 attack and defense. You can send one level 5 or higher normal monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand, then increase its level by 1. During your main phase, except the turn this was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, add one Red Eye's Fusion from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and you can only activate each of these effects once per turn. Its search is way too slow, and we'll get to Red Eye's Fusion in a minute. Red Eye's alternative Black Dragon has the same stats as the regular with the effect. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your hand by attributing one Red Eye's monster from your hand or field. You can only special summon this card once per turn this way. If this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card's in its owner's possession is destroyed by opponent's card effect, you can target one level 7 or lower Red Eye's monster in your graveyard, except this card, special summon it. And if it was a Red Eye's Black Dragon that was special summoned, its original attack becomes doubled. Joey just saw Kaiba's deck and tried to copy it, and it just brings out a 4800 beater. If they were trying to go with the Blue Eyes alternative White Dragon route, then why couldn't they change its name, or better yet, make this a normal monster? Red Eye's Black Flare Dragon is a Gemini. Red Eye's Soul is a 900 attack and 2000 defense monster with the effect. This card's name becomes Red Eye's Black Dragon while on the field or in the graveyard. If your opponent special summons a monster except during the damage step, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, special summon one Red Eye's monster from your hand or deck except Red Eye's Soul. You can only use that effect once per turn. Quick effect, you can target one Red Eye's Black Dragon you control, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack, and you can only activate that once per duel. The once per duel effect does big damage, but it only does so in one entire game. However, its name change is good for materials and graveyard setup. Red Eye's Zombie Dragon has the same stats as Red Eye's with the effect. You can tribute summon this card in attack position by tributing one zombie monster. When this card destroys a zombie monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can special summon that zombie monster. This is meant for zombie decks, not Red Eye's decks. Even if you do play this card in a zombie deck, don't. It's not that versatile. Lord of Red is a level 8 ritual monster with the effect. You can ritual summon this card with Red Eye's Transmigration. Once per turn, when a card or effect is activated except Lord of Red, you can target one monster on the field, destroy it. Once per turn, when a card or field is activated except Lord of Red, you can target one spell trap on the field, destroy it. This is a reference to the Orichalcos arc. It's good for some destruction when certain effects activate, but I'd rather make a deck surrounding this because it can break. Red Eye's Black Metal Dragon is a level 8 with 2800 attack and 2400 defense. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your deck by attributing one Red Eye's Black Dragon equipped with Metal Morph. That's it. All it is just the summoning condition effect. And Metal Morph does way more to Red Eye's than what this card can ever do. Red Eye's Darkness Dragon is a level 9 and has the effect. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by attributing one Red Eye's Black Dragon, and it gains 300 attack for each dragon monster in your graveyard. Well, that's all it does. It just makes itself a huge beater. Not really much to comment on here. Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon is a level 10 with 2800 attack and 2400 defense. You can special summon this card from your hand by banishing one face-up dragon monster you control. You can only special summon it once per turn this way. During your main phase, you can special summon one dragon monster from your hand or graveyard except this card, and you can only activate this effect once per turn. This used to be a staple in a lot of dragon decks for it to be able to just special summon itself for just one dragon monster. If you don't believe me, look in the Dragon's Collide structure deck, it's right on there. It's also good for bringing back your other dragon monsters so you can play maybe like an Xyz summon or a Link summon or whatever extra deck summon or whatever kind of other summon that you think of that's good for this. Cards of the Red Stone is a normal spell that reads, send one level 7 Red Eye's monster from your hand to the graveyard, draw 2 cards. Then you can send one level 7 Red Eye's monster from your deck to the graveyard, and you can only activate this once per turn. It basically serves as 2 Foolish Burials and 1 Pot of Greed. That sounded like a porno. Run 3! Infernal Blast's effect reads, Target one Red Eyes Black Dragon in your monster zone. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of that Red Eyes Black Dragon, and it cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. Well, that's 4,800 life points right there if you're using Alternative's effect. Though if you are trying to make a burn deck made out of Red Eyes, make this a 1 copy because it can brick your hand. Red Eyes Fusion is a normal spell that reads: Fusion summon one fusion monster that lists a Red Eyes monster as material from your deck, using the monsters from your hand, deck, or field as fusion material, and if you do, that name becomes Red Eyes Black Dragon. You cannot normal or special summon other monsters the turn you activate this card. You can only activate this once per turn. You know, if Red Eyes is supposed to represent potential, then why am I restricted of my normal or special summon? This card wouldn't be really broken if it didn't have this restriction anyways, so what's the point? Oh wait, it would make the deck better. Red Eyes Insight is a normal spell that reads: Send one Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, add one Red Eyes spell or trap from your deck to your hand, except Red Eyes Insight, and you can only activate this once per turn. Well, if you want to search Red Eyes Fusion, there's always this card. Onto the trap cards, we have Red Eyes Burn. If a face-up Red Eyes monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, target one of those monsters, both players take damage equal to its original attack, and you can only activate this once per turn. Oh cool, a Ring of Destruction effect. I hope this doesn't cause a lot of ties. Red Eyes Fang with Chang is another normal trap that reads: Target one Red Eyes monster you control, equip it to this card. It can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. You can send this equipped card to the graveyard, then target one effect monster on the field, equip that target to the monster this card was equipped to. And if you do, while a monster is equipped to it by this effect, its attack and defense become equal to the original attack and defense of that equipped monster. The double tacking is most likely never gonna happen because you can only activate this card during your opponent's turn because that's how trap cards work. But if you do want to drain your opponent's stats, you're gonna have to activate this card twice, and that's a bit tedious. Red Eye Spirit has a card effect that simply reads: Target one Red Eyes monster in your graveyard, special summon it. It's a bit slow because it's a trap, so I would rather just play Monster Reborn. It's never a good idea to summon during your opponent's turn if you want to keep your materials. Return of the Red Eyes is a continuous trap that reads: If you control a Red Eyes monster, you can target one normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it. If this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to your graveyard, you can target one Red Eyes monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and you can only activate this once per turn. It's reliant on a Red Eyes being on the field, but it can help you with materials. You can also get a free Red Eyes when it gets destroyed. Onto the extra deck lineup, we have Archetype Black Skull Dragon. It's a level 9 with 3,200 attack and 2,500 defense. It needs one level 6 Archetype normal monster and one Red Eyes normal monster. You can only special summon Archetype Black Skull Dragon once per turn. If this card battles, your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated until the end of the damage step. If damage calculation is performed involving this fusion summoned card at the end of the battle phase, you can target one Red Eyes normal monster in your graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack in the graveyard, and then shuffle it into the deck. It deals some pretty big damage, and it recycles so you can search for your Red Eyes later on. That, and it has the Ancient Gear effect where when this card battles, your opponent can't activate anything. If you do want to special summon this monster, just use Summon Skull, it'd be way easier. Black Skull Dragon is its pre-errata version, and since it has no effect, there's not really much to go over here, but I will give some quick trivia. It is the first ever printed level 9 monster. Meteor Black Comet Dragon is a level 8 fusion with 3,500 attack and 2,000 defense. If this card is fusion summoned, you can send one Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the original attack of that monster. If this card is sent from the monster zone in the graveyard, you can target one normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Archetype Black Skull Dragon already beats this card in the bird damage department, so yeah. Meteor Black Dragon is the same deal with Black Skull Dragon, so allow me to give trivia. This is the strongest card you can get in Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword has the stats of you know who and has the effect: Must be special summoned with the Claw of Hermos using a dragon monster. If this card is special summoned, you can target one other face-up monster in the field, equip it to this card. It gains 1000 attack and 500 attack and defense for each dragon monster on the field and in the graveyards. If this card doesn't make a monster with the biggest beer in the whole world, then I don't know what does. Red Eye's Dark Dragoon is another fusion monster with the effect. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. Neither player can target this card with card effects. During your main phase, you can destroy one monster your opponent controls, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. You can use this effect the number of times depending on how many normal monsters you use to make this card. Once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, you can discard one card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. And if you do that, this card gains 1000 attack. Deals heavy burn damage, and it gets 1000 attack points stronger. This is the card to play, especially for its immunity to card effects. Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon is an Xyz monster with a rank of 7. Cannot be destroyed by card effects while it has material. While this card has material, each time your opponent activates a card or effect, inflict 500 damage to your opponent immediately after it resolves. Once per turn, quick effect, you can detach one material from this card, then target one Red Eye's normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So, just by your opponent playing the game, you're throwing a match at their face. Also, if your opponent summons a card like Beals, I don't know how you pronounce it, but that's how I'm gonna pronounce it, you can end up dealing consecutive damage to your opponent to the point where they lose. Red Eye's Slash Dragon is a fusion monster with the effect. When a Red Eye's monster declares an attack, you can target one warrior monster in your graveyard, equip it to this card as an equip spell. That gives this card 200 attack. When a card or effect is activated that targets this card you control, you can send one equipped card you control to the graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon as many monsters from the graveyard as possible equipped to this card. The equips just eat up your back row for a few attack points higher and negation that only targets. So if you get Raigeki, this card isn't going to help you with that. Red Eye Zombie Necro Dragon and Red Eye Zombie Dragon Lord are monsters that more so belong to zombie decks, but at least worth mentioning since they are part of the Red Eye's archetype because of their name. There is absolutely no win condition with this archetype, and it's pretty sad considering that it was held by Joey f***ing Wheeler. And so because of this, the mechanics just felt random. For example, some monsters were Geminis, some did burn damage, and some focused on equips. To be honest, they could have done the Blue Eyes route, and sure, it would have been the same thing, but in my opinion, that's the point. You could have multiple different options to choose when it comes to fusioning summoning, just like Blue Eyes. Hell, in the Season 0 movie, they made a big deal about Red Eye's Black Dragon having potential and Blue Eye's White Dragon being more so power than anything else. Just what in the absolute hell happened here? Oh, and as for the score, it says very, very sad 5 out of 10, but it gets 5 points for at least creating powerful boss monsters. Before I end this video, I want to give a real quick announcement. I'm now doing commissions, and here on your screen are the prices. If you want your commission done, I accept via Cash App, and you can contact me via DeviantArt and Twitter. Both of those will be the link in the description. I'm OP Silver, signing off.